Hello, this is Jason with Lampride Service, and today we're going to show you how to assemble a Lampride post hole digger stand. This is for the PD 15, 25, and 35. There's also a separate stand for a PD 10 that is very similar. We'll start the assembly process. You want to start this one by making sure this is turned to the inside here, and this leg is turned to the outside. We'll start, you take 2 bolts and 2 of the whiz nuts. You just snug them down. You do not tighten at this time. Okay, now we will move down to the cross member. You can see how we have it positioned here where it's upright. Once again, we just tighten it down, snug, but not all the way tight. I'll move down to the end. Okay, this part sits right on top of this one. We just get it good and snug, then we move. And it's the exact same thing on the other side. All right, now that we have our frame assembled, we have tightened everything down, we've torqued it to 76 foot-pounds. Now we're going to put on the lower supports. Here you will use a bolt and a nylock nut. You want to put this on here, making sure that the welded nut does not interfere with the swinging position. Next will be another bolt, a lock washer, and a flat washer. Now we tighten this down. We're going to tighten this right here all the way down tight, then we're going to back it off 1/2 turn. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Once we have that done, we'll show you how to put the cradle on the actual post hole digger. Right, now we have our PD hooked to a tractor. Now we're going to remove the auger, we're going to remove the safety guarding, and then we're going to put on the cradle. Right, here's your cradle. You're going to put the nut to the front, make sure that the U shape goes up. It just slides up on here. Then you take your other piece of shielding and you will line it all up. You will use the longer bolts that were provided in the kit, along with the lock washer and the flat washer. Now we have the cradle back on, we have the guarding back on, we have the auger back on. Now we're going to put the stand on. As the stand goes on, it will slide up and over the little notch. You will use the knob to tighten it down. Now the stand is now mounted to the post hole digger. We will lower it slowly to the ground until the auger makes contact and take all the pressure off the lower 3-point arms, at which point we can remove the lower 3-point arms and put in the cradle. All right, in this evolution, it's much safer to have 2 people perform this. We're going to lower the post hole digger until the auger touches the ground. Go ahead and lower it down. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, now it's a PD auger is on the ground. You'll notice it's loose like this. We'll need to pull the tractor forward till we have equal weight distributed around all 3 legs for stability. That's good. Now it's stably on the ground. Now we'll remove our lower 3-point. Here is your post hole digger in the stand, securely mounted. If you have any other questions, please consult your operator's manual or your local Lampride dealer. Thank you for buying Lampride.